Alright, in this video we're going to be demonstrating the use of a spring compressor to remove the spring from a strut. You can see that this spring is broken, obviously, and the strut is in equally bad condition. So I've already done the struts on my vehicle, but since I had to buy these spring compressors, I figured I would do a video on just how to get this spring off of the strut. So this is a spring compressor. There are two hooks. One of the hooks is threaded on the inside, and that is obviously how the screwing action occurs, and the other one has no threads on the inside, so the screw can pass through it, but there are washers at the bottom that cause the compressing action to be affected. There are also safety pins, also known as detent pins, on each of the hooks, and that's so that the spring doesn't go flying off. And just a word of warning here, if you're going to do this, just keep in mind that the spring does get under quite a lot of tension while you're doing this. And when installing the first one, I just tighten the screw just to the point that it's starting to compress the spring a very small amount so that it's not flopping around. So I just tighten it up by hand, and then I'll take my socket, tighten it up a small amount more. Now for the second one, it goes on the same way with the hooks and the safety clips. And the thing to keep in mind is that you want the second spring compressor on the 180-degree opposite side of the spring as the first one. And that's so that you don't start compressing the spring on one side only, causing the other side to bulge out. So they need to be on opposite sides of the spring before you start really compressing these things down. And like I said, I just use a ratchet, but you could use a drill to do this as well. And I would just be careful where you put your fingers when you're doing this. Obviously, as it gets tighter and tighter and the compression on the spring increases, it could cause issues if anything slips out. So obviously this can be dangerous, so you need to be careful. What I found in doing this is that I had to put the spring under quite a bit more tension than I had initially thought. So it does take some time, and you do need to really crank this thing down before it is loose enough for you to remove the top plate. And you'll know it's loose enough once the suspension inside of the spring could be moved around freely and it's not being impacted by the spring. So the top plate can flop around, and the bottom obviously as well is floppy without the spring sort of crushing it up. And now the next step is to remove this nut on the top, and this one came with some sort of a rubberized strut condom on the top of the strut, and it did not prevent it from getting rusty in the least. Now for this one, I'm using an 18mm wrench on the top nut, and then I gotta hold it with an 8mm wrench, which is really inconvenient. It would be nice if it was something larger. I don't know if they make a specialty wrench for that is a little bit more effective, but for this one, it's an 8mm. So a bit of a pain to remove. Anyway, I do get it off eventually, and it is a bit of a pain. I use a lot of PB Blaster, and I do end up using some vice grips. Anyway, once that nut is off, there is a washer on top. Then there is a bushing, which is super dried out and hard and also pretty cracked, so I can't really reuse that one either. I probably could have reused this top plate if I wanted to, but when I did my suspension, I just got a new one of these as well. I mean, it's rusty, but I could have just used some rust-proofing spray or something, but I don't think that was necessary. And then really the last piece here is this bottom bushing, which is just another chunk of rubber, which is in okay condition, but again, I'm sure it's been hardened out over the last 10 plus years of use. There might also be a metal sleeve on here that's been rust welded to the strut, but maybe not. And basically I can't get this thing apart because of the plastic boot and the size of the spring compressor, so I do need to take all the tension off the spring before I actually fully disassemble the strut. And this may be your situation as well if you're going to reuse the interior suspension part of your strut. You'll eventually have to fully decompress the spring anyway. And then if you wanted to put a spring on, I will include building a strut at the end of this video. So it is quite a bit of unscrewing to get the threaded portion of these bolts out, and then obviously just pull the safety clip, and then these retainers all just sort of pop off without too much difficulty. And I store them all together because if I didn't, I would obviously lose parts of the spring compressor and I wouldn't have them available in the future. Now I'm going to do a strut build on this as well, but when I do it, I'm obviously going to use completely new strut components. And that's pretty much it. That's the full disassembly on your strut, so if you want to reuse any of the pieces, that's how it's done, and that's how you can get all of your parts off. Clearly every component of this strut is done for, and I will not be reusing these. Now moving on to rebuilding a strut from scratch. You do need to take the boot off to do the full assembly on this thing. And for the assembly, I'm doing the bottom plate first, obviously oriented in the right direction, then the boot back on, and then there should be a washer that goes on top of the boot. And for the bottom bushing, there is a metal sleeve that slots into the bottom bushing first. I believe that everything gets compressed enough that the top and bottom bushings are actually have that sleeve inside of it. And you see there's cutouts on the bottom bushing that accommodate the screws that are on the top plate, and then there's a little cutout on the top plate with an associated protrusion on the bottom bushing, and that is where that lines up. Once that's done, just compress the bottom bushing into the top plate as best you can. If it's not fully compressed, that's not a big deal. The spring will do the rest of the job for you. Once the spring is decompressed inside of the strut, no concerns about that. When compressing the new spring, it's obviously the exact same thing as compressing the old spring to get it off of a strut. Put the hooks on, make sure the safety pins are in place, and then make sure that the spring compressors are on both sides of the spring when you're doing the compression. Really just compress it until you can get this top plate on so that it's in contact with the washer and not just in contact with the spring. Be careful how you're orienting everything. I do a much better job on this one getting everything lined up correctly than I did on the first one. And then I put the top plate on, obviously the top mount, the bushing, and then the washer. I use the 19 mil wrench, and then I'm holding things in place with a 10 mil so that it's not just freely spinning. Then I go back with the 19, and then I remove the compressed spring. Now these springs have a lot more coils than the OEM spring. The OEM spring, you would be able to get this spring compressor out no problem, but I have found that there is no real way you can get this spring compressor out just by hand. On these ones, there's just too many coils and they're too tight once it's actually in the strut. So I just take a crowbar, I give a little bit of pressure on the spring, and that opens it up enough that I can get these mounts out. It's still a little tough, but obviously I did it on all four of them, so you could probably do it too. And that's the whole thing built. Again, 30 foot-pounds on the top nut, and you're not supposed to reuse it. Overall, building the strut and taking a strut apart isn't that difficult, but it can be a little bit of a pain, and definitely make sure you have all the parts and everything you need to build the strut on hand before you start this job. Anyway, thanks for checking out my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.